Hey, storytellers, it's Storytelling Ron, and I'm here to talk about Star Wars on Foundry. Just some more stuff I've been learning as I've been playing, GMing it. The first thing I want to talk about is the obligation, duty, morality, and conflict. Now, this is not about Foundry, this is about gameplay and GMing, and just some GM advice. Um, it actually came up because of rarity in items, but that's another sort of game mechanic, rarity, using that because one of the characters might be a black market contact where he could lower the rarity of an item and increase the cost of it so he get more black market items. And I'm like, I don't want to remember that, or not remember that, but I don't want to create a little chart or anything. So my advice about obligation, duty, morality, and conflict is to not use them. But it's not a criticism of them, because I remember in the 80s, or when I was a younger DM, I would just make list after list of ideas, or I would gravitate towards books that had tons of lists, of things, ideas. So I get it. It's really good, especially if you're a new GM, to do that, to at least, at the minimum, read those lists to give you ideas. Now that I'm kind of older and been playing this for so long, I kind of just know when to do something, or some idea will pop up in my head. I don't run out of ideas. And another player who's a DM sent me his list of fumble charts, and I was like, ooh, and he made it a long list, and that was great. And actually, that's given me some ideas, and I'm gonna condense that into just a couple of notes to remind myself, of things I can add to the fumbles or to criticals, because they're really good ideas, and they do make, he put a lot of thought into it. And so the thing is it's good to learn those things. It's good to learn obligation and duty. Those are really cool ideas. And then the morality conflict thing with the Jedi, the Force users. But don't let game mechanics bog you down. Like an obligation, which is for Edge of the Empire, that's when when the characters sort of, it's accounting, right? When the characters get to a certain number, you then have to bring in a Jabba the Hutt or a bounty hunter or something to come after them. And you as a GM should already know that that's something you want to do. You should already know that. So you don't need an accounting, game mechanic to bog you down. Okay, that's another issue about GMs and DMs that I want to give you. Don't let the game mechanics of a game bog you down, or oblige you to do something based on those numbers. Do it when you want to do it. Do it when you feel like it's the right moment to bring in Jabba the Hutt or a bounty hunter or whatever, or some hut. Don't do it because they got to a certain point in their obligation. Do it because it feels right. They're getting loans or doing crazy stuff, and you feel like you need to bring in something that makes them humble again, or whatever, or brings up the adventure. But it's got to be based on your excitement as a GM, because you have to feed yourself too. You have to feed yourself the desire to GM it, to see what they can do. So everything you do in this really has to be about what you want to present to them. Don't let the game or the campaign or whatever it is force you to do something that you don't want to do, or you're not really sure about it. And make sure you're excited about it. That's kind of like every video I do or try to do concerning all these campaigns and stuff, like in D&D and now in Star Wars. So that's just my advice on obligation and duty, which are great ideas, and they should be in there. So I'm not criticizing them. I'm saying for you and me, this is just my advice to you. Don't let, when there's so much to remember and so much to deal with, even me, because Star Wars is new to me, and so is Foundry. So I'm dealing with both at the same time, trying to figure it out. And it's very opposite of what I'm used to. I'm used to writing down something in the character sheet. I'm not used to creating an object or an item or whatever, and then having to drag it into the character sheet. It's a different way of thinking. Okay, so that was my advice on games, reducing the game mechanics a little. Something I've learned in the recent game, or I'm learning a lot, or figuring out a lot, but here's one thing. So this right here is the base damage of this blaster pistol is the 7. And there's a talent called Feral Strength, that one, and then there's another one called superior quality, right? So if you make those, you have to. It gives you a +1 to advantage. You just get that automatically for every roll, and then it adds +1 to the damage upon a successful hit. So that was a tough one for me to figure out where to put that. I couldn't figure out, under modifiers here. If I added this one is for the see how our results mod, you get an extra advantage, and then there's nothing here that says it's for rolling the dice. Dice mods is add a boost or setback. Roll mod is add or boost or setback. Those are and results add or boost or setback or whatever. It's not. See, now this thing is not refreshing correctly, so that's another issue. But there should be other ones. Nonetheless, there's no +1 base damage type of thing under here. So I'm like, well, wait, so I'm not used to this. So finally, this morning, literally before I was making the video, I realized, under the actual weapon itself, I just typed it in here, which you can do, but I would like to have a note there so it reminds me that the base is 7 and it's got a plus because of the quality. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, how you do it is under the, this item, gear, or weapon thing, right down here, you can do it with a weapon stat. And that'll give you the damage +1 here. So if you add that with this little plus here, that will then make this an 8. And it's nice because then I can tell the difference that there is a bonus indeed. And I notated it here. Because this special is the one which will show up when you roll the dice, and it'll show up in the chat along with the weapon. So anything you want to immediately know about the weapon or gear, you want to put under special, that some sort of note, extra damage, or they got to do an extra knockdown or whatever it is. You'd want to notate it in there so that the you and the players can remember that. Oh yeah, I can do an extra thing here, whatever it is. The quality is obviously the quality, and that, like I said, it you can get the advantage here, but the base damage you have to go somewhere out, over here and add it. Yeah, so it's a little, there's tedium. So as you can see here, the superior quality, it does an 8 damage here, and then when he rolls it, it'll show the extra advantage there. So that's what that is. Okay. So it also. I'll show you. The feral strength. Okay, so this character has a feral strength talent from the Marauder thing, and I had to redo this. I've mentioned this in another video, but I have to redo them because I want to see the notes here. And when you type it into the original talent trees, for some reason it doesn't show up. It just shows the page number thing reference. So I wanted, so I had to get them. I had to redo this whole thing, but that's in another video. But anyway, it wasn't that hard, and what I like though is you have to create each of these, and they become an item right under talents. Here, let me show you. Here, see, so now under here I have all these talents. Well, here's the thing. With this, I can start when I make, say, my own adversary, my own villains and nemesis and rivals. I can throw some of these onto their character sheets, their NPC sheets, and use them. So there's that. But these are all of these things, and I make them in a drag and drop. And a lot of the specialization trees do use the same ones. So there's that. Well, I don't know if I have them well organized, but they're in there. But that's how I make specialization trees. Anyway, so he has feral strength here, and it's so it's +1 damage to successful brawl or melee attacks. Okay. Manual inputs, modifier, weapon stat damage +1. So I have to put that in there somewhere. I know that's my note right there, and I have to make it. Now how am I doing it? I am under gear and equipment. I added it to the combat knife and the gaffy stick, but now because of what I just figured out there, I might want to add it to put it here. See, I don't even have it there. So, his characteristic is a 3. A combat knife is only +1. So how do I have it in here? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I did do it here. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So he has it's a +1 for the weapon, and then it's a +1 for the his feral strength. So I want to note that actually. I didn't note that. So plus +1 for weapon and +1 for feral strength included. Okay, I want to note that so that I just know it's in there. You know, we're not confused, or did you get the feral strength in the middle of the game? Let me go ahead and copy this and put it in the other weapon. Here. Okay. Make sure I gotta save. Man, this thing right here, I forget to click on that a lot and have to redo it. Okay, so both of those he gets that. Let me make sure. Yep, weapon stat damage. Whoops. Okay, that's that. Oh, wait a minute. This is the weapon stat. I think I just made it a 3, which I should probably make it a separate one just so I remember. Because I think the gaffy stick is a +2. Let me see here real quick. Up here, I got the weapons in here. There's a gaffy stick. Oh, it's under weapons. Gaffy stick is, yeah, it's a 2. Okay, I'm gonna just to remind myself. I know I made it a 3 there because I was thrilled, but let me make it another one because I want to just know, that I included it. Okay. Oh, this one, yeah, this one's a +2 weapon, not a +1. So +2. +1 for feral strength. I should probably put. Yeah, I don't know how to undo this. The space. I don't know how to undo that. Damage +2 for weapon, and +1 for. I don't know how to get. See, I don't know how to undo these or make these squares. I'm sure. Let me see. Is it this? Ow! See, I don't even know what that is. Anyway, that's fine. I could probably look that one up. So there, that's so these now have the feral strength in the weapon itself. I wish that the talent itself, this would actually affect it, and I don't know how to do that. I don't like here. These will not add to the stat here. Just adds to the character's stats, right? And then these all just add to the character's stats, or skills. Yeah, the characteristics, and then the skills will add to the roll, but the feral strength does not give you a better chance at hitting something. It only gives you that after a successful hit. So I can't, under this talent item, I can't use this. That, at least that I'm aware of. So that's kind of some things you got to figure out or realize under as you GM, as you play. There's these tons of little things like that you have to kind of work around or figure out. And I mean, the best way really to do it is play and just be patient with each other, players and GMs, because it's tough to play GM, have high energy, and then you got to stop and figure something out. It really brings that energy down. But you just hope that the momentum will pick up as you keep playing, And so this I just added in. This is those force power. Trees, the smaller ones, these ones. Okay, and this too thankfully I was able to type in this one. I was able to import it into the items list here. This chart. Let me go to the talent trees, and I put it under the guy's character. And so enhance. It's the enhance force power thing. So I was able to do that and then drag it into the talent area. And it's different. It's different from this because it has its own little section. And then it obviously has the base when you're here and describes what it does. And then so let's say he gets the coordination and it adds coordination there. It still has it in here if you click it. what it does, and then of course it has this one here. So what it does for when you have this new talent in there, and you're going to have another talent in there. So it's sort of a subtree of force powers, and but again, I typed in these descriptions so that I would, because obviously the people who made this originally did not want to do that because they didn't want to. I understand they didn't want to, get too appear too piratey, when they're including all this stuff to the publishers, which makes sense, which I get, but I'm putting it in for myself. Okay. The character is only using the Marauder right now, and I bought him this one, the Force Sensitive Exile, but this one doesn't really fit his character, so I may allow him to take that one off and give him another one, which I made actually. Or did I make it? Yeah, the Warrior Aggressor. So this is kind of like breaking the rules a little. I'm giving him one of the specializations that sort of fit the Marauder. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I don't want him to be a mean Marauder type, Dark Jedi or Sith or something, but it just fits with the way the character's set up and the way I think he's a young kid who wants to play simple, straightforward fighting, which is fine, But I think I'm going to give him this one instead of the Force Sensitive Exile, which is the Empire of the Edge one, which I do like. But again, it's more role playing and more maybe someone who's sort of played it a while can then explore that type of character because of the nuances of it. Whereas this one's just straightforward fighting, which is. So I might give him this tree at some point or switch it out, switch this one for the Force Sensitive one. Okay, so what else? What else is interesting about this? So the other thing here, I might have mentioned another video about it here. The encumbrance for the characters doesn't work yet. I think they're working on it, but what I've done in the meantime, it works for weapons and armor, but it doesn't work for gear. It doesn't add the gear encumbrance to the total. So I've made a gear item that basically says what their encumbrance is, and his is a 12. He has a characteristics of 2, and then you add 5 to 5 is the base encumbrance along with brawn, and then so he has a 7, but then he has a utility belt, so that's an 8, and then he has a backpack, which is +4, so that's 12. So I put in this Encumbrance Counter. I made this, and it does nothing except just I type in. Let me just show you the item. It doesn't do anything, but I just type in the number 12 here, so that the player and I know what his maximum is, and then this is just the counter. So to count how much his encumbrance. He's got 2 here. He's got 1 reload, so that's 3. The toolkit is 4, so that's 7. And he's got down here 4 water packs, so 7 plus 4 is 11. So yeah, that's the 11 here. That's just a simple way of notating the encumbrance. Okay, what else? They're just in this area right now. They just took out some the bad Tusken Raiders. Obviously, there's going to be some good Tusken Raiders, which is fine. And I think that's. One thing. Another interesting thing. Okay, this is a good thing to talk about. So under this, I have Mosnito folks here, and I have the Dewback mount and the Yopies, right? And these are generics, right? Especially when you the Yopies, especially when I bring them in, they come in randomly. I created the wild card type of. I have 4 of them there. So, but they have their own Yopies, or at least they're renting them, and they're putting things on them. So you cannot drag in like 2 of these whenever you go to a new map because it doesn't have all those items that they had. That they're loading the Yopies with. And I'm definitely playing out the encumbrance, and we're not using paper and pencil, so we're definitely we're kind of sticking everything in Foundry, all our notes, whatever we do. So that's a commitment, and it's a commitment, and it's tedious, but we kind of want to like go full on into it, like full on into the game and into the being what is it called, submerging, immersion, whatever it is. So what do you have to do? Okay, so you got to remember to do this when you have a mount or a vehicle, a land speeder. If you had a land speeder, right? And once they get a land speeder, I have these generic ones here. But if they ever got, ooh, that'd be cool if they got one of these. And actually, I have a better image that has it kind of tilted. But I definitely want some pirates to come after them. So and the size is maybe, yeah, that's about right. But if they did get one of these, I'd have to make a copy of it. Okay. And does it have the encumbrance on it? I'm just kind of curious if it has the encumbrance. I mean, I'll find it somewhere. Encumbrance 6? Only a 6? That's weird. Seems like you can carry more than 6. So, obviously, yeah, cargo hold 6. So they have a small cargo hold, I guess. Oh, that's funny. I must have put that in there. I don't know how else it got in there. Because did I make this? Oh no, it was I imported it from the the compendium. I imported it from the compendium, and then I just changed the image to that. So, but if they got one, what you have to do is you have to make a copy of it right here, duplicate. Now bring this one out to whatever folder you got your characters in. Then you got to go into prototype here and turn on link actor data, and then I would rename it too, right? Because it says. How do you rename it up here? Whoop. Let me. Right here, right in front of my face. So I would put this as like Bantha 2 cargo skiff. I don't know, whatever theirs or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you gotta make sure that it's a unique one. So let's just say they get something. They let me open up this. Oops, and that one's probably not even it. This one is not it, right? Yep, nope. See. You got to make sure, you're grabbing the right one. So this one, theirs, okay. And let's say they get an item. They're getting some stuff. Let's say they get a. Here, let me just milk gourds. Come on, milk gourds. Okay, milk gourds down there. Just whatever, I'll put 8. Okay, and let me take out the gun, and they can only fit 6. And these are I made these encumbrance 1, but they're 2 days worth of milk and food, like the Tuscan Raider thing. So I guess you can only fit 6, and they're kind of big. Whatever. It's a small cargo hold, that's for sure. Okay, so I might even say. If they only have a few passengers, they can put stuff on top here and load it. But whatever. Oh, not what I'm with right now. Okay, so now let's say they're going to go back to town with this. What I used to do in Roll20 was I would copy the characters and then paste them into the new map. So I'm going to try that here just to see if it works. So copy data for 1 token object. Okay, so I have that. And let's say they go back to the Mos Nido and they have this thing here. I'm going to paste it. Okay, let me see if it did it. Okay, it did it. Wow. That's great. But I've also, what's weird too, is that sometimes I've done it where I've copied and pasted it and then they can't see it. And I'm like, what? And so I would delete it and then have to go back to the one, not this generic one here, but the one that I made specifically for them. So let me just delete that one just to see and put this one in here and see if it has, see? Okay, I know what I did wrong. See, here's a lesson. Okay, let's go back to the vapor farm. Okay, so I did drag that one in here, but you still, see, and it's a token now. It's not a prototype, so then I didn't link the actor data. Okay, so you have to do that again. Wait a minute, let me see if it's on here by default. No, which I thought, okay. Ooh, when I copied it, let me make sure I didn't put it in this one because that one shouldn't have it. Okay, no. All right, let's try this again. Okay, now, and I would recommend deleting it and starting over, putting that one in there, making sure. Okay, so that one doesn't have the milk. Let me grab the milk. See, I linked the actor data from the one in there to here, but that doesn't work. You have to turn it on from the original in the chat box or whatever this is called. So let me add the milk cord. Just take out the gun. I'm assuming, okay, good. It has link actor data on. Let me, now obviously copying and pasting this again works, but that doesn't mean it's the real source. Okay, so this is the one I just pasted again. A little fast there. Okay, well, that's in there. But sometimes they can't see that, so for some reason, I don't know the dealio with that. So let's go back to the original one here on the chat thing. Drag that one in. And there's the milk cord. Okay, so you have to remember to link actor data from the token that is in the chat area or whatever the tabs, the main thing. That's good to know, right? I knew that, but I haven't yet made it a habit, solid information that I got to remember. So as you can see here, I have these copies of the dewbacks and the Yopies. And in the Yopies, what I had to do when I made these, definitely had to link actor data. But because I made them wildcards, I had to turn that off. Turn off the wildcard and then specifically pick the Yopie that I wanted. Okay? Because the generic one will wildcard through these three here. Okay? So you got to remember to do that when you make your own unique, mounts or vehicles. All right, so I think that's enough for now. I'm kind of exhausted myself. My brain is, I'm readjusting my brain network to work with this. And let me see. These are the ones they took. So let me just see if they are up to date, real quick. But I'm going to end this quick. Okay, that may be up to date. Like literally are these all linked? I think. Okay, so these are generic. They don't have. See, I gotta remember that too. They're. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these. Well, I'll delete it when I can. Let me see. I just want to see if these are they linked? Ugh, it's not linked. So, what I'm going to do then is delete these. Okay, because these are the ones they took, and then bring these ones in. Because, when they return, these are the ones I'm going to want to have them using, obviously. And they're outside, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring them down here, because when they return, obviously they're going to be out here. Of course, they're going on vacation next week, and the other two players have not been able to join. One's been sick, and the other's, starting his semester in college, so he's been kind of figuring that out first. Okay, so hope this is helpful to you to, if any of you all are using Foundry, if you're really experienced at it, please leave me a note or a message about anything I've done wrong or anything that can be fixed, or that based on what I'm talking about here. But I'm just trying to go through it for myself, and these videos help me, and hopefully they'll help you. Thanks for watching.